Hey everyone, thanks for dropping by and welcome to my review of Along Together on PSVR. And if you want more PSVR and sometimes PS4 content, please like and subscribe, it's very much appreciated. When I first saw the trailer for Turbo Buttons Along Together, it immediately struck a chord with me. Not only because you have to find your lost dog, and I do love dogs, but its aesthetic brought back a sense of nostalgia of those magical PS1 or N64 3D platformer days, albeit without the terrible draw distances or fog thicker than a day trip looking for your long dead wife in Silent Hill. In terms of story, it's as basic as you can get. You can either choose to play as a male or female protagonist whose dog Rishu has run into the forest and you need to retrieve him, completing a variety of puzzles along the way, and help comes in the form of a disembodied godlike hand to help these young kids on their journey. The lack of narrative makes it difficult to invest in the characters or plight on any significant level, so it's a good job Turbo Button's meticulously crafted world fills that hole. Ported from Google Daydream, Along Together looks stunning on the PS4 Pro. Its simple textures and adorable character models are rendered so sharply, this ranks as one of the crispest and brightest games on the system to date. Now this isn't pushing the limits of PSVR, but its graphics are certainly optimised to the fullest. With 3 distinct worlds to travel through, each one becomes a character in itself, captivating you as their scale and intricacy increase the more you progress. Frame rates are steady, draw distances impressive, and the swooping in-game camera largely dependable, with only some minor clipping on rare occasions. Character animations are charming as they kick over switches, point to your next objective, or simply offer you a high five. When it comes to sound and music, these are just as endearing as the world itself, with music light and breezy, complementing the cutesy on-screen action. While it harks back to those Banjo-Kazooie days, nothing will particularly stick in your head, but there is more than enough variety to keep the player interested. The gibberish language of the characters keeps communication universal, as well as helping to instill a bit of personality, with sound and ambient effects proving functional and suitably cartoonish. As a whole, the sound design is familiar yet extremely well done, with just enough individuality to propel you through the magical little world. Before starting the game, I actually turned on my Move controllers and was surprised to find the game had to be played entirely with the DualShock 4. But jumping into the first world, I soon found the control scheme lean and immediately intuitive. The left analog stick navigates your human character, pressing cross for their environmental interactions, while the light bar tracks your god hand movements very competently, with R2 allowing you to manipulate the world and puzzles around you. Upon completion of a level, you will make a retreat to a treehouse, which acts as a hub where you can replay stages or interact with the toy collectibles you've picked up during the game. You won't be spending a lot of time here, but it's a nice little distraction and helps break up the puzzle solving. Talking of puzzles, you won't find anything too taxing here, with any head scratching normally a result of the user missing something. On one of the junkyard levels, I did come across a bug where a car wouldn't spawn, preventing me from progressing, but a quick reset fixed this problem. At the time of writing this review, the developers have just released patch 1.02, so hopefully all these bugs have now been sorted. The game mechanics are instantly recognisable, with little variation in the way of the standard pushing, pulling and twisting you already know, yet despite their simplicity, I never found it getting old. This is probably due to the brevity of the level design, with the pacing of the gameplay spot on as it pushes you onto the next area briskly, helping keep the proceedings feeling fresh. A complete run through will clock in at around 2 to 3 hours, with very little replay value apart from collectibles or trophies. As such, the price point could be considered a little steep for some. It currently has a PS Plus discount in most regions, which is probably closer to the sweet spot for those not completely sold on the puzzle platformer. When the trophy list appeared on PSN profiles, I was glad to see a platinum and what appeared to be an easy trophy list. For you trophy hunters out there, I am pleased to confirm you can add a shiny new plat to your cabinet very quickly. There are a couple of action specific trophies, such as don't kill any birds on a particular level for example, but most will come through natural progression and collectibles, meaning you can obtain the platinum in around 2 to 3 hours. The majority of collectibles are out in plain sight, and once you've grabbed them, make sure you play with each one in the treehouse for what will probably be your final trophy. As a result, the platinum difficulty comes in at a pleasing 1 out of 10, with no need for guides or multiple playthroughs. With this week's PSVR coverage mainly dominated by some more action orientated titles, I wanted to give a helping hand, see what I did there, to a smaller game that might slip some people by. Along together, scant game time is highly enjoyable, its art style evoking what N64 games look like in our sentiment muddied heads, with the gameplay loop as equally fun and nostalgic. Its relatively thin narrative may not have provoked the emotional connection I was maybe hoping for while tracking down our canine companion, but its world has been crafted with such hearted creativity, it makes this bite-sized adventure more endearing than it has any right to be.